Hello, it's Kadisha. I'm back with another video. I was watching this movie last night and it was so good. It was so good. It's an oldie. And I wouldn't say a classic or anything, but it could become in the running for a classic nominee. But anyway, not to talk about what the movie was about, but the father in that movie said something that was very clear cut, but I think most of the time us as humans and the imperfect people that we are, and then when we start mastering something, we start to tend to want other people to be able to have that same mastery, and not realizing that just because that's something that we are striving to master in doesn't mean that that's something that someone else should master in as well. But the dad said, he said, it's not, now I gotta paraphrase because I don't remember exactly what he said, but he was basically saying it's not our job to change people, but it is our job to love them. And it just, I guess maybe to think about the Bible, because most of the time we want people to act the way we act or do the things we do, and it's just like we are all different for a certain reason, and that's okay. So if somebody, of course, is causing you harm, I'm not telling you to stay where they are and choose to love them thinking that that's going to change them. That may not be your calling, especially if they're inflicting physical harm. But any type of abuse is like, no, we don't tolerate that. It's like a zero tolerance. However, if someone wants to put, oh, I think this was so funny because it was a guy who was talking about the toothpaste cap, and he was like how his wife never puts the toothpaste cap back on the, on there, and they've been married for so long, and he's, instead of him causing a big fuss about it, because he's like, he wants fresh toothpaste, he's like, she does not care. So he's like, instead of us arguing about that, what I'm doing is getting her another bottle of toothpaste and I have my own. And I was just like, man, that sounds so simple, but most of the time we're like wanting to shake that person, like, why don't you put the toothpaste cap back on it, because it makes more sense. We try to, not to say that you have a wrong point of view, but it's your point of view, so they have their point of view as well. So it's just like, don't try to make somebody's point of view coincide with yours. It's just realize, like, we have to sometimes agree to disagree, especially if it's something that is not worth even arguing about. It's like something, like, it's not detrimental if we do not be on the same page in this area. And I guess that was probably more so an eye-opener for me, because I know I have this, not perfectionist spirit, but I have this spirit where I want to do things a certain way, as we all do. And then sometimes, like, when people want to do it a different way, you feel like because you're doing it and you're succeeding, that it should be done your way. And it's just like, no, maybe their way works for them, and that's okay. And that kind of refers back to my 75 soft challenge that I said I was doing versus the one who I always like catch up with. She's doing the 75 hard, and I had to realize maybe that is what she needs in order to stay on this consistent path, versus me, maybe I don't either, or maybe I do, I'm not saying that, but it's just like I had to realize, like, maybe kicking it up a notch may do too much. Because I remember one time I was working out so hard, oh my goodness, I think it was not good. It was, I don't know, I've never been to a place where I felt like I was uncomfortable in my body, but I do always strive to be a certain, and I wouldn't even say a certain physique, but it's just like I want certain things in my body to look better. And maybe that season was more than ever because I was just working so hard. Like, I would work hard and then I would come and do like a HIIT workout every single night, and my body was so tired and just wore out that it just did things not right. And I, of course, looking back, we always say hindsight is 20/20. Looking back, I realized that was not good. But in my mind right then, nobody could sway me on that not being the best option for my life. And so sometimes we have to allow people to go through things and do things their way to realize that maybe that's not the best way. but then we have to also be accepting to realize that maybe that is the way for them as well. So I hope this video helps you in whatever situation you may be going through, where you're at odds with a friend, a family member, co-worker, because you have two different perspectives. I always believe in praying and allowing the Lord to try to change their perspective or change them on the idea versus me trying to persuade them, because most of the time the more we go against what someone is saying, the more they resist what we're saying. So we have to, of course, give sound wisdom, sound doctrine, especially if you're in a workplace, and then move forward in a way that's confident, knowing that what you left or what you were given was your honest answer, and doesn't mean that that person has to do it, or if it is the best thing for them to do, then they will come around, and we have to love them through that. So thank you so much for watching, and like I always say, sa cambio que quieres ver en otros. Until next time, bye.